Hi everyone, so I've got something a little different for you guys today. I'm actually going to do a trail around my hometown of Cambridge. It's the Cambridge City Circular Tour and it's 6.4k. I've also got my friend Martha joining me again, who you may remember from the Serpent Trail.
Yes, I'm back.
So yeah, it's going to be a bit different. It's I don't have a huge amount of stuff on my back. I'm not walking long distances. It's only going to take a few hours, but hopefully you'll learn some interesting facts about some of the colleges along the way and see some of the great sights. So it actually says on all trails to start a little bit up the road, but there's nothing up there. So I thought it'd be better to start at Castle Mound, which is the highest point in Cambridge, and it has incredible views across the city. You can see King's College Chapel over there. I grew up just over here, and yes, pretty amazing view actually. But yeah, so this is actually the site of a castle that was built in 1068 by William the Conqueror, and it then got transformed into a jail, and this is the last site of the last hanging in Cambridge.
This is the spot?
Well, this is the spot, yeah.
Oh my god.
And that was in 1913 to a guy called Frederick Seekings. And do you know why he got hung?
Why did he get hung?
Because he slitted his wife's or girlfriend's neck.
He slit his girlfriend's neck.
Slitted a word?
I don't know.
He slit his girlfriend's neck, yeah. So there you go.
That's exciting.
So yeah, it starts here and we're going to head down and go into the centre now and see what we can find. So we've just walked down Chesterton Road and we're now at Jesus Lock, which is the only lock in Cambridge. And this is the River Cam. So Martha, in 1968 my stepdad did a race. It was called Through Cambridge, I think it was, or something like that, where it started in the Mill Pond, which is 3/4 of a mile up there, and it ended here at Jesus Lock. And anyone could enter. And my stepdad, he was 12 years old when he entered, and he won it.
What?
Yeah.
And anyone was doing it?
Anyone could do it, yeah, and he ended up winning it. Aww. And the following year, Dave Gilmour of Pink Floyd entered, which is pretty cool, because Pink Floyd are from Cambridge.
Oh, cool.
Just stopped for a little chill. We sat on Jesus Green. There's the skate park there. Just over this fence there is Jesus Green Lido, which is the longest in Europe, 90 meters. And over those trees there is Midsummer Common. And this actually used to be all big one park, but it got separated by that road there in 1890. Which is called Victoria Avenue, and every year, every summer in June, they have a huge fun fair, which is actually the second largest gathering of travellers in the UK. And this year, because of COVID, it didn't happen, but all the travellers still came anyway and had a big old get together. Yeah, so this is Jesus Green. So we're now walking down Jesus Green towards Midsummer Common. Once again, it's crazy hot. I always seem to do these vlogs when it's weirdly really hot. I'm also wearing, in homage to my hometown, a Cambridge blue t-shirt.
That's really I shouldn't have worn a turtleneck today.
So can you hear that? Guy playing a trumpet.
Go around this way, I'd love to see.
So what's good about this trail is it's taken me down some roads I've probably not ever been down before, like this one, Orchard Street. It's really nice. And I'm not actually staying strictly to the route map because of roads like this, which might be nice to see. So if I see anything interesting, I'll show you those as well. I know for a fact actually King's Parade isn't on this trail, and it's actually one of my favourite roads in Cambridge. It's really nice oldie worldy buildings and coffee shops and tea rooms and art galleries and things like that. And it's actually where the entrance, actually no it isn't, this is where the front of King's College Chapel is. The entrance is down a side road actually, next to Trinity Hall where I used to work. Anyway, now we're off to Christ Pieces, I'm not sure what it's called, which is a nice big green space.
Edit, Phil called it Christ Pieces.
Christ Pieces.
And it's actually Parker's Piece.
Parker's Piece, yeah.
Parker's Piece.
I messed up. There's so many parks and stuff in Cambridge, it's quite easy to get them messed up.
But yeah, it's very cute.
Anyway, there's a big Ferris wheel on there today.
There is a big Ferris wheel.
It's a fun fair.
Look. So I've got a question. What is that thing? The really nice looking building.
It's a hotel. Very swish, swanky hotel. I think it's called the University Arms.
Okay, cool.
Quite expensive to stay there every night, I think.
Right, that's goals then. That's me in the future. And that spire.
Yeah.
What's that?
That is the Catholic Church. I'm sure it's got another name, but I know it's the Catholic Church. Hey,
Okay.
check this out.
That's cool.
Should I get the drone up?
Yeah. This is nice. There are a lot of green open spaces in Cambridge.
Parker's Piece, not Christ Piece. Should we go in? Ooh. There's a service going on. There's a service going on. just holding the door for people.
I was like, I looked through the crack of the door and I saw the candles and I was like, But you opened the door anyway, so...
Yeah, so we're not going in there. There's a massive service going on. And what I was about to say is I went there for midnight mass a couple of years ago, and some lady gave me a Bible as a gift at the end.
That's nice.
I don't know whether she thought I needed it or anyway, I've still got it. It's in my bedside table.
Oh, that's sweet.
What do you think this is?
Just like a statue to make the city look good.
No, it's known as Hobsons Conduit, and it was used to release fresh water into the city. And further down the road actually you can see little channels on the side of the road where the water used to run down. But yeah, doesn't look very fresh anymore. Ooh. Yeah, it's Hobsons Conduit, and it actually comes from a place called Nine Wells, which is a nature reserve just up the road.
That's cool.
Yeah, here we go. Hobsons Conduit. The structure stood upon the Market Hill and served as a conduit from 1614 to 1856, in which year it was re-erected on this spot by public subscription. So look.
Oh, that's the thing that makes the water.
Yeah, so that conduit up the road there, all the fresh water used to go into the city along these little channels. And guess, Martha, who I saw on this road once? What famous person I saw on this road?
I don't know.
Stephen Hawking.
Really?
I also saw him in Dixon's, or I think it's called Curry's.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, what? That's cool.
Now we're heading to the Mill Pond, which is actually a really nice little spot. where lots of people go to drink in the summertime and chill and watch the punts go past. So yeah, I'll show you that shortly. So we're now at Silver Street Bridge. That's the mill pond over there. And just here is the mathematical bridge, which was built in 1749 and then repaired and rebuilt in 1905 of the same design. And it's a myth that it was built by Isaac Newton, and it's also a myth that it was created without any bolts or pegs, because as you can see, well, you probably can't on here, but there are actually bolts and pegs on here.
Is that why it's called the mathematical bridge? Because they thought it was built by Isaac Newton and it didn't have any...
I think it's called the mathematical bridge because it's basically reinforced by gravity. Oh. So if a timber beam was taken out, it could simply be replaced back into the same spot without the bridge.
The integrity of the structure being compromised.
That's exactly what I meant to say. Yeah, so oh, that's that guy about to fall in.
Yes, fall!
Fall in!
Oh, come on! No, he knows what he's doing. Look at his yellow paddle. Of course he knows what he's doing.
We're just gonna hope someone falls in. I've actually punted here before and fell in, much to the amusement of all the Chinese tourists around me.
It looks like he's gonna fall in.
Anyway, should we go and check out this side?
Yeah.
So this is the mill pond. This is where the main punts leave from. And this here is actually Scudamores, which is where punts originated from. Bloke Mr. Scudamore invented punts in 1900. What do you think of Cambridge so far?
It's cute, it's really pretty. There are a lot of nice open spaces. I was asking Phil whether he prefers Cambridge or Oxford, because I've been to Oxford quite a few times and Oxford's really cute, but actually Cambridge is quite nice too, and you prefer Cambridge, and I'm starting to see why.
Clearly I'm biased, obviously, because this is where I was born, but I do actually think I prefer Cambridge. It's just, I think it's a little bit bigger. There are a few nicer places, like I think the punting's more prominent here.
And it seems greener. Like there are a lot of parks. I don't remember that many parks in Oxford.
Yeah, but yeah, this is one of my favourite spots. And in the summer, everyone comes here for nice drinks from the Anchor pub, which is over there, and then the mill there. And then if you walk that way, it takes you all the way to Grantchester. Do you know why Grantchester? Give me a reason why Grantchester's famous.
I don't know. I don't even know where Grantchester is.
Well, Grantchester Meadows was a famous song written by Pink Floyd.
Oh, and Pink Floyd from Cambridge.
Pink Floyd from Cambridge. And there's also Grantchester Tea Gardens, where lots of famous writers and poets, Virginia Woolf was from there, and another one who I forgot, but I'll tell you in a second because I'll research it. It was Rupert Brooke who used to go to Grantchester Tea Gardens and write, and this might interest you, Martha. He was once known as one of the most handsome young men in all of England.
Oh, alright. And he was a writer, blimey, what a catch.
Anyway, I'll put a photograph on this.
Look at that punter. Are they called punters?
Punters?
Yeah, like, is that a punter?
Yeah, he's a punter.
Okay, and I have a question.
Okay.
Why is Cambridge University so prestigious and respected? Is it because it's so old and a lot of like the teachings, obviously maybe it was one of the first universities or something, I don't know.
It's a good question, Martha. One that I actually don't know the answer to, but I'm guessing it's because it's probably where the first universities and colleges in Cambridge in the UK.
So, she doesn't know either.
I knew she wouldn't.
But she's not from Cambridge.
Okay.
I'm going to find somebody who's from Cambridge and see if they know.
Second university in England. So it was founded in 1209 after Oxford, and for 600 years there were royal protection preventing any other university being founded. So it wasn't until Durham was founded in 1832. That's when the birth of it. But it basically, like, when it began, it was all you studied at university was religion. So it was all about, basically about a way of training to be priests. The Pope gave it like its seal of approval early on. And yeah, because it had all the privilege and like it was only those two universities that just flourished.
Okay, that's why. Oh, okay, cool. Good to know.
Sure, you don't want to get the tour. You find out a lot more.
I mean, yeah, maybe later.
It's a beautiful day for it as well.
I know. Thank you. I'm literally walking into you.
So that's the way you find out information about Cambridge. Ask a proper punter.
Ask a punter.
Ask a punter. I mean, I know the facts about some of Cambridge. I don't obviously know everything. I was born here, but obviously these guys, it's their job to go up and down the backs of the colleges every day. They learn all the information about all the colleges and stuff. And they're telling people constantly, every day in, day out. So their knowledge is going to be pretty good. To be fair, we probably learned a lot if we went on one of the tours.
Yeah, we would.
But they are rather pricey. Back when I was younger, it was like £8 an hour. Now to do it, it's £50 for 90 minutes, 40 quid if you're a student. If you get a guided tour like what this guy was offering, do you remember how much they said?
70 quid in the group.
70.
Like, you could pay for one bench, and I think that was 70 quid, but then it depends on whether you want like a little area or the whole boat, and if you, yeah.
Anyway, I really highly recommend doing it if you come to Cambridge. It might be a bit pricey, but it is actually one of the best things to do in Cambridge.
Yeah.
It is beautiful. You see all the backs of the colleges, King's College Chapel, Clare's College, all the highlights basically.
I did it for
But anyway,
Cambridge for the first time. That was what I
so you've done it before?
Yeah. Yes.
But yeah, we're sticking to the trail for now anyway. So this is probably one of the most iconic scenes in Cambridge.
It's like the Cambridge postcard shop.
Yeah, exactly. Do you want to hear some funny facts about it?
Go on then, hit me with the facts.
Okay, so Cambridge students, I don't know if they still do it, but certainly back in the day they used to be renowned for doing like pranks and stuff. And one prank that they did was they climbed, there was famous Cambridge student night climbers that used to climb on all the buildings throughout the night and do silly pranks and things. And one of the pranks was they climbed up to the spire of King's College Chapel and put a traffic cone on one end. And King's College found out the following day, and they hired a scaffolding company to build scaffolding so they could go up to retrieve the cone. But they didn't erect it in time, so by the time dusk came, they just left it and they were going to carry on the following day. But the students came back the following night and moved the traffic cone to the other end, so the scaffolding is completely pointless. And also that's been up there, it's been a single toilet seat, and at Christmas time someone put 4 Santa hats on each spire.
Someone put a toilet seat up there?
Yeah.
Oh.
And this is actually where they have the Christmas Eve King's College Chapel choir at Christmas Eve. Have you seen that on TV?
Oh, yeah.
No, you haven't, have you?
I think so, but I wouldn't have known it was here.
Yeah, so it's here. And what's cool about that is during the song Once in Royal David City,
Go on, sing it.
Yeah, I'm not going to sing it. Well, the solo that one of the choir boys has to sing, none of them know that they're going to actually sing the solo, and the choir master picks the kid who's in best voice that day, and will point to the kid like
just before
they could do a solo. So
oh my god, I'd be so nervous like, the whole time. If you thought it was going to be you, you'd just be like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
Well, that's it, you don't know. And then obviously the choir master goes, you, and then
you,
exactly, and then that child who's the best on the day has to sing the solo, which is actually quite an honour if you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but very nerve-wracking for them too.
That's amazing.
We're now walking over Garrett Hostel Bridge. Do you know what's special about this place?
No. What's special about this place?
Is that wall there. I have to sit and have my lunch on. So I used to work in here. This is Trinity Hall. I used to sit on this wall with my sandwich and watch the punts go by. And this is also known as the Orgasm Bridge.
Why?
Because cyclists will come up here because it's so steep, and when they get to the top, they'll make a groan. So let's, shall we see if any cyclists come past and see if they groan at the top?
Okay. Where are all the cyclists when you need them?
Okay. And
Oh, that's so pretty.
Oh no! I was going to tell you a fact about this bridge. So, behind this bridge there, which is totally masking the bridge behind it, which is a real shame. So the bridge behind it is Clare Bridge, and it has 14 balls on top. Well, actually it's 13 and 3/4 balls. And do you know why there's a quarter missing?
No, I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you, Martha.
I know, I'm sure you do.
So there's actually an urban myth. There's 3 urban myths. One is that the builder of the bridge never got paid, so as a vendetta, he didn't complete the bridge. That's one urban myth. The second one is that it was a college bet, that one college student said, "I'll bet there's only 13 and 3/4 balls on top of this bridge," and I was like, "No, there's 14." And to prove his point, he came and cut a segment out. And the third one is that to avoid paying bridge tax, Clare College didn't complete the bridge. Therefore, an incomplete bridge means you don't have to pay tax because it's not finished, basically. But the real reason is that it was just down to a weathered repair. So in order to get into the main central strut of the sphere, they had to take a segment out, and when they replaced it back in with cement, it just fell out into the river, and that's why it's there. It's not actually as interesting as the other facts, unfortunately. But yeah, this is a beautiful little spot where all the punters go.
Really pretty.
Is she gonna groan? Oh, no groan. Other cyclist, are you gonna groan? Ah, rubbish. It's only me groaning out of disappointment. Groan! I'm not convinced this is...
I don't think it's hard enough.
It needs to be harder.
No, he looked like he was finding it difficult, but not that hard. Just minimal effort.
I was going to say something rude then. Martha, what did you just call me?
An underdog posh boy?
No, I wasn't an underdog posh boy. I was basically like Matt Damon. What's that film where he works in a school and he's like the cleaner? Good Will Hunting. I'm basically Matt Damon, but without all the intelligent part and being a genius bit.
Oh, damn.
But this sign here, look, this is it's actually meant to say to the river.
To the riv?
It says to the riv.
Riv.
And let me just show you where I used to work. Trinity Hall. Look, I wonder if they'd let us go in.
It says closed.
Oh, it's closed. Let's try and get into King's College Chapel. So I've actually got these cards because I lived in Cambridge. Have you got it? Of the card?
Oh yeah, I do have the card.
Yeah, I just want to show you this card. So my mum has got these cards because we're residents of Cambridge. I'm not anymore, but used to be. That should hopefully get us into some of the colleges and stuff. The only trouble is, it expired in 1996. So pretty sure it's not going to work, but we're going to give it a go. King's College Chapel is just round this corner, and see if they'll accept it.
Wow.
I'm gonna see whether these work. Normally, I've used them in the past and they kind of go, yeah, right. So I'm not liking our chances, to be honest. Let's see.
Let me see.
Is this a queue? I'm a resident of Cambridge. Do you still accept these?
That's must be really old.
It is very old, but I grew up in Cambridge.
After visitors pass, there was a Regis pass.
Yeah.
Regis pass, residence pass. That was suspended in March. Then it may come back. We'd like it to come back at some point in the future. At the moment, I'm afraid
So this won't work on any of the colleges?
Useless, so I'd have to...
Oh really? You actually taken them away?
That's a museum exhibit though, because I've not seen that before. Okay.
Aww.
But if you come, when you... are you here tomorrow?
Well, I live in Cambridge.
Oh, you live in Cambridge.
That's why I've got them.
Yeah, I thought you'd moved away and then come back. Yes, so if you come back at 10:30, we're certainly open then.
Okay.
And
But
you're
it's
welcome
got to pay
to.
£10.
You do.
Okay, that's all right.
But you could also talk at the shop. At some point, we're going to bring back the residence pass.
Okay.
We're very keen to.
But for now, you've confiscated them.
Unless you're very emotionally attached to them.
Well, yeah, I am actually.
You are?
Can I have them back?
Okay.
Oh, well, okay.
Just as a souvenir.
As a souvenir, yeah. They're so vintage that they might be worth something in years to come. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
See
you.
you later. There you go, worth a try.
We
Fail.
tried.
You tried to take them off us.
I know.
It's a bit rude.
Rude.
So they actually deviated away from the path a little bit. Currently at Senate House Passage. But I'm taking you down here because it's actually a really nice little passage, and it brings you out on King's Parade, which I mentioned earlier, which is probably one of the nicest roads in Cambridge. So we might get a little coffee or something in a sec. But yeah, very nice. There's a sundial up here. And do you want to go up a church spire?
Yes. Can we?
Yeah. So just around the corner is St Mary's Church, and you can go up on the roof, and it's got a good view of all over. You have to pay, but it's worth doing if you come.
Cool. There's music as well.
Check that out. So this building here is Senate House, and another prank happened on here, Martha. Would you like to hear about it?
Let's go on, tell me the story, Philip.
So in 1958, 12 engineering students put something on the roof of there. Can you guess what they put on there?
Another traffic cone.
No, something a bit more heavy.
A whole toilet, not just the toilet seat.
That's a good guess, but no. They actually put a Austin 7 car. They managed to get a car on the roof. Oh, that's a good question, Martha.
How did they do it?
Well, for years they didn't actually know how they did it, but what they think happened is that they borrowed a metal steel line from a gliding club and made an A-frame and scaffolding from various bits of wood. Yeah, because they're Cambridge students. They're going to be clever.
They use maths and physics and smart brain stuff.
Exactly, and they managed to winch it up there, and they had to make a drawbridge so they could get it across to sit on the top of the roof. I'll add some photographs to this. They took the engine out to make it lighter. Apparently, two of their girlfriends lifted up their skirts to distract the crowds so they could carry on with what they were doing. And does that make sense?
Yeah. They flash.
Yeah, they basically flashed to just make a decoy. And yeah, they managed to get it on the roof. And the fire brigade and stuff couldn't get it down. And for days they ended up using blow torches to basically take it apart in sections. Crazy.
That was a good prank.
Yeah. So this is King's Parade, and this is St Mary's Church, which we're about to go up. And a bit of Johnny Cash. And that's the other end to King's College Chapel. I'm not looking where I'm going at all. Walking into people. Yeah, so that's Senate House. That's where the car was plonked on top of. They often have a lot of filming that go along here, like period dramas and stuff. And there's a guy, I don't know if he still does it, he sits inside a bin and plays guitar.
Inside the bin?
Yeah, so his hand is coming outside of the bin and his other hand is coming out the other side, and there's just a guitar and he's sat inside the bin.
That's very, very random. I hope he's around.
And I think the same guy once, I saw him punting completely naked.
What?
He's a bit of a crazy character.
What a nutter.
What a nutter. St Mary's Church, and we're climbing to the top. Almost looking up Martha's skirt. There's 123 steps to the top. And it used to be 50p entrance fee to the top. £6 now. Inflation. Currently on number 88, 89, 90. We made it to the top of the tower. Pretty impressive view up here. You got King's College Chapel there, Senate House here. This is what I was chatting about earlier. I think they put the Austin 7 on the roof of this building here.
Hello, town. First, you know to stop and wait. As we will have people climb, please stop and wait.
And that's the market. We just stopped for a coffee there. And you can see the Ferris wheel there, it's where we were earlier, in Parker's Piece. And that's King's Parade.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. So this is Trinity College. And what do you notice about Henry VIII up there?
He's not that fat.
That is true. What's he got in his hand?
Royal things.
No, look in his right hand.
I don't know what that is. Is it a candle or stick?
It's a chair leg. So it used to be a sword in that hand of his, but a window cleaner in 1980 saw that it had nothing in it, so he went and got a chair leg from inside the college and replaced it and put it in there because he thought he needs to be holding something.
Is that true?
Yes, that's a true story.
Really?
Yeah. And this is the oldest and most richest college out of all the colleges in Cambridge. Prince Charles went here. Sir Isaac Newton went here.
Oh my goodness. Fact.
And there's an apple tree, could be this one actually, which was thought to be...
The tree that he was sat under?
No.
Oh.
But from the seed, from the apple, that his inspiration behind the gravity theory came from. So that apple tree grew from the seed of the apple that fell from the original tree. You get me?
Yeah, I get you.
There you go. Is it this one? Could be that one. Is that an apple tree? Or maybe it's inside actually. Maybe it's that one. So we're almost at the end. We're on Magdalen Bridge, next to Not Magdalene, not modelling, but Magdalene College.
Magdalene?
Yeah.
Modelling. Modelling.
Magdalene College.
Modelling.
Not modelling, Magdalene.
Modelling College.
Anyway, have you heard of Samuel Pepys?
Yes.
What do you know about Samuel Pepys?
Absolutely nothing.
But you've heard of him.
Yes.
So his diaries are kept inside Magdalene College.
Who is he?
Basically, he's considered one of the most important, it's meant to be one of the most important diaries in the English language.
Turn around so the sun's in your face and you can
Okay.
actually see.
Yeah, so it's meant to be one of the most important diaries in the English language. And it basically, because he's written about historic facts in the 17th century.
Oh wow.
He lived in London and he writes about London. And he apparently also had a lot of affairs.
Cheeky bastard.
And according to my stepdad,
Got a glove.
according to Michael, he used to write coded love letters to his bits on the side so that no one could decipher them. And apparently they're in there. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But quite a cool fact. And it was actually the last college to admit all male students. And I think that finished in 1988 or something. And in the dining hall, they have no electricity. So they sit there and have their dinner, a bit like Harry Potter, with candlelight.
That's cozy.
Yeah, there you go. And this is the other end to the mill pond, where the other Scudamores is. So this is also where you can catch punts from. Show you the other side. Nice Rolls Royce. Nice Skoda. Got some nice little restaurants and stuff around here. But yeah, this is pretty much the end of the tour now. Up this road is where we started, where Castle Mound is. To be honest, there's not much point walking to the start again because we've already been there, but it's like a couple hundred meters up there.
Been there, done that.
Been there, done that. So yeah, what did you think of the tour, Martha?
It was lovely.
Yeah?
It was nice, yeah. I've been to Cambridge before, years ago, and I've been to have a little nice day shopping, but I've never been properly and explored everywhere, so it's really nice. Thank you, Phil.
Learned some facts.
Learned some facts.
I mean, I'm no expert, but I've tried my best to at least enlighten you slightly, and hope you've learned something and found some of the facts interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah, so this is the end of the trail. I enjoyed it. It's been crazy hot again.
It's been such a nice day, like such a nice sunny day.
Yeah.
Kind of shouldn't have worn a turtleneck, but you never know, it's unpredictable British weather, and it actually turned out to be a lovely, lovely day.
Exactly. So yeah, come to Cambridge, come to my hometown, do this trail, or just come and enjoy Cambridge. It's really good. And now I'm like trying to be a proper YouTuber. I'm going to try a proper YouTube thing. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and a subscribe down below. And hopefully next time I'll say it without stumbling. Thank you.